Hey everyone, it's Elizabeth from Our Darling Memories, and today I'm going to be doing my second layout for the Stories of Us album that I started. So if you saw last week, I did a process video for my title page. Don't mind the, the couple in the front, that's not us. But this was the title page that I made last week. And so now I'm going to be working on this side of the page, and for this side I actually decided to do a collage of photos from before we got married. So obviously, since this is a 5-year album, the album starts when my husband and I got married, which was in 2012, but I figured that I could add a couple of photos from before we were married because, you know, that's a good way to start out. So, and also I did want to start 2012 on the right side of the page because I'm OCD like that, so I needed something for the left side of the page, and I figured a before we were married type thing would work perfectly for that. So as you can see, I have a photo collage here, and this is printed on vellum. I really like this idea of printing on vellum, as you can see, with a pure white background underneath it. The photos are actually really clear. I printed this on printable vellum, and I used the draft setting on my printer. If you are going to print photos on vellum, I do recommend using the draft setting, because if you use the regular normal setting, even for plain paper, the ink does tend to smush and it won't be as clear as if you use draft. And as you can see, the colors are really vibrant even though it's on draft. But I do plan on using some embellishments to kind of make this layout a little more fun, and I'm excited to show you what my process is. So here we go.
Alright, so this layout ended up turning out really simple. As you can see, I already have the photos in the journaling, and you can just see me stapling those two together at the very top so that the journaling is still accessible just by lifting that vellum piece. And now I'm going to be figuring out what embellishments I want to add to this layout. I didn't really want to cover any of our faces, so I kind of used smaller embellishments and really focused on the placement so that nothing was really overlapping on our faces in any of the photos. I end up picking this Together wood veneer and the Love fabric patch, both from the fabric story kit, and I do end up using the Together wood veneer, but I end up switching out that love for the acrylic word love from the For the Love story kit. That's a lot of loves. The acrylic word love from the For the Love December story kit by Allie. So that's pretty much how my layout is going to end up looking like. I adhered both the acrylic word and the wood veneer piece with the Martha Stewart glue pen, and that seems to be working quite well. I'm not sure how well it's going to stand up to use, like if it's being taken out of the album in and out all the time, but as of right now, both of those things are sticking fairly well. And that's pretty much my first layout completed. As I said, most of this stuff was done digitally on Photoshop and my computer, so if you want to see a tutorial on how I made this photo collage, please let me know, and I will be happy to do a Photoshop Friday all about how I made this collage. But for right now, I'm going to be going on to my year 1 title page, and I've already printed out my photo and a couple pieces of paper that I know that I want to add to this layout, and those are from the Kelly Brings Creative Special Someone Kit, which I will link below. So as you can see, I'm just figuring out what the placement I want for those pattern pieces of paper in the photo. I kind of had an idea already of how I wanted this layout to look, so I'm just trying to figure out what looks best with the photos and the pattern that I have printed out already. I do have that year word art cut out on my silhouette, but I don't end up using that one. That is actually from a very old pack from Allie Edwards Designs, and it's still Allie's handwriting, but it looks very different because it's a thinner script, and I really didn't like the way that it kind of blended into my pattern paper, and so I end up scrapping that year word and going with a different word from Allie, and you'll see that in just a second as I finish figuring out how I want these pattern paper pieces to look on my layout. Pattern paper pieces, say that 4 times fast. So as you can see, I now have my journaling all printed out, And I also have cut that word one, which is from, not sure which kit that's from, but it is an Ali Edwards design word art piece, and I'm just going to be using that piece of 6x8 paper as a guide to adhere my photos and my pattern paper down on my piece of journaling. So year one for my husband and I was not the greatest. They always say that year one is your honeymoon period, but I think that was kind of the opposite for us. We had just moved from Montana to Hawaii and just started our Army life, and it was kind of rough. So that's what I'm talking about in this journaling. There was definitely some really great moments in our first year, but there was also some very hard moments, and I think that helped make us the couple that we are. So I talk a little bit about that. And you just saw me adhere my pattern paper down, and also that one that I cut out from the silhouette, and I'm just looking for a little bit more to add. I end up going to the February Stories by the Month kit, which is all about love, and picking out two chipboard that I think will work. One says love you and the other says heart you, and I end up going with the love you only because it was gray and I felt that that worked better with this layout. There was red on the other side, but I decided to go with the gray so that it matched the layout that I was working on. So that's pretty much my layout. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.